All right, so welcome to a new term, or hopefully it's a new term at the time of recording this. I planned it for it to be a new term, but if it's not, oh well. Okay, so the scalar product. So the scalar product is a bit of a weird thing in that it's a bit hard to explain what it creates. So the scalar product, if I just skip back to this page here, it's kind of like multiplying two vectors together, except you don't get a third vector out from it. When we do the cross product in 3D, we do, but we won't get to that till next year. But the scalar product, or the dot product, because it's A dot B, is equal to the magnitude of A times the magnitude of B times by cos theta, where theta is the angle between the two vectors. So remember, the angle between the two vectors is when both vectors are coming into the same point, and that will be our angle there, or they're both going away from the same point, which will be that angle there. If we've got a tip to tail like that, then the angle won't be there. Okay, that's not there. It's actually going to be the supplementary version. Okay, it'll be on that side. So we just have to be aware of that when working with the scalar product. And what the scalar product does is it produces a scalar. It just produces a number. It doesn't produce a vector. It just produces a scalar. So the scalar product is super useful for when you're trying to find the angle between two vectors or something along those lines. It's very useful in scalar projection. We don't quite use the whole full thing, but I guess it gets its base from scalar projection, which we'll do later in this exercise. So a few examples down. But let's go back to the first example that we've got. So what we've got is we've got two vectors. Okay, well, first thing I notice is that the two vectors are tip to tail. So there's 120 degrees isn't the angle between. The angle between the two vectors, if we sort of continue B out here, the angle between is actually going to be there, right? And it's going to be 60 degrees. So when we set up our scalar product or our dot product, A dot B is going to be equal to, once again, A times B times by cos theta. Magnitude of A is just 6, magnitude of B is 4, and we're going to have cos of 60. Now, cos 60 is equal to 1/2. So guys, if you haven't memorized your exact value table yet and be able to do it that quick, you need to. You don't want to be wasting precious time in an exam trying to remember what cos 60 is. You need to remember it quite quick. It's assumed that you know it in spec. It's not part of the course. It's part of methods. So know your exact value tables, or your exact values from the table, and substitute them in quickly. Specialist exams are really tight on time, as your methods exam will be as well, so you can't afford to waste any time with that. And that's going to be equal to 12. So if this was in an exam, I think it's probably a little bit too easy to be in an exam, but if you did, it would be 1 mark. Okay, wouldn't be 2 marks, it would just be 1. But like I said, I think actually this is a bit too easy to be an exam. Okay, this is the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.